kind of exciting for me. Can't wait to see my Quick Fuel 750 raced double pumper on the Bone Stock 360. Alright guys, so our last video we ended with the 360 Magnum needs a full rebuild. That's fine. Outside is our 1983 364 barrel LA engine. My first step is going to be to get the engine off the gantry onto an engine stand and inside the garage because it is hot as anything out there. It's about 90 degrees Fahrenheit, 32, 33 degrees Celsius, and it's just a little warm to be working outside if I don't have to. Alright guys, here it is. 1983 364 barrel. Now, obviously we're not putting it in the car like this. We want to pretty it up a little bit. And the old 67 Darts engine base is pretty nice, so we want to keep it that way. We're going to pull the oil pan, we're going to pull the timing cover and water pump. We're going to pull the intake and the valve covers. I'm going to scrub up a few surfaces, clean things up, blow everything down, flush any junk I see on the top end, which there will be a little from washing it and from the amount of muck that was on this thing. It was just oily grossness. But overall, we're in pretty happy shape, so let's get to it. Alright guys, that's the basics of the teardown. It's as far as we're going into this engine. The timing chain is completely wore out, which that's quite alright. I've got a double roller chain sitting on the table. The engine mounts have to come off because I got to put my spool mounts on. And other than that, I have to change the oil pump pickup tube to my Moroso Oil Pan 1. Thankfully, there was very little sludge in the, or junk in the coolant passages. That makes me very happy. That means my frost plug should be in pretty good shape, etc., etc. Now, honestly, I'm down to cleaning up the gasket surfaces, giving it a good scrub down externally, tape a few things up, and start painting. I've got my oil pump priming shaft inserted into the oil pump, and I have an oil pressure gauge hooked up to it, and I've got 8 liters of oil in. This is a higher capacity pan, so I'm going to spin it up and we're going to see what we make for oil pressure. I might have to crank the engine a couple times to get it to fully lube everything, but we're going to start right here. About 65, 70 psi. Let's go on a lower speed and see if we can, you know, go engine idle, say. You know, I'd still give that 62, 63, so that's right on. I'm going to keep doing that until I get all the way around. And then that should make sure that my top end is lubricated. Alright, so the last few things that I need to button up are gap my new spark plugs, put them in, because I can put them in, put the engine in with the spark plugs in place. I got to change one Remflex header gasket that got tore on the way out. And the engine lifting plate, coolant temp sensor, and oil pressure sensor. Those will go in after the engine goes in the car, as well as the distributor and plug wires and all that jazz. Everything's going to be pretty straightforward. Oh, I have to size my oil dipstick because this was for a truck pan, and I don't have a car pan one, so I've got to do some cutting, a little bit of measuring, and remark the dipstick. Not too bad. Yeah, I think I sold myself on that. Alternator's looking a little bit old and dusty still, but that's a project for another day. I've got other alternators that look a little bit cleaner, just this is the one I can lay my hands on at the moment, and I know it charges. Just about ready to put this thing in the engine bay. We'll see you tomorrow.